The culture of pre-Islamic Arabia was illiterate, and history was passed on by word of mouth. With Prophet Muhammad and the birth of Islamic civilization, a culture of writing and literacy was born, which changed how history was recorded. In the words of historian Chase F. Robinson, there was an explosive growth of literacy culture triggered by rise of Islam. Islamic history has been well documented, and the list of Muslim historians is long. Several names stand out, however, for their contributions not just as historians of Islamic history, but of world history. One of the most respected Muslim historians was 9th century historian Al-Tabari, who wrote an enormous 16-volume work called The History of the Prophets and Kings, beginning from mankind's creation up to his own era. Al-Tabari's chronology was remarkably accurate for his time, and his work was translated into Latin as early as the 16th century. Herodotus of the Arabs is the nickname of Al-Mas'udi, whose work, The Meadows of Gold, is a voluminous world history spanning thousands of years up to the author's time. He gathered many sources for his work during his journeys across the Muslim world and far beyond. He insisted on visiting the lands he wrote about. He also emphasized the importance of eyewitnesses in verifying historical facts. Al-Mas'udi didn't take an ethnocentric approach to his history either. He recognized the achievements of non-Muslim civilizations such as Greece and India. His Meadows of Gold gives significant attention to the civilizations of ancient Greece, Persia, and India, and was translated by French scholars in the 19th century. Perhaps the greatest contribution of all Muslim historians was made by Ibn Khaldun. He saw history as more than recording dates, names, and events, and was critical of historians who relied on questionable sources. Ibn Khaldun compared many different civilizations of different eras and found common patterns in their rise and fall. His sophisticated approach to history involved analyzing forces which govern human society, including tribal solidarity, culture, as well as economics. Ibn Khaldun's masterpiece lays out his approach to the study of world history as well as an historical method for historians to use in order to distinguish fact from fiction. In fact, he was the first to discuss the philosophy of history. To quote Scottish thinker Robert Flint about Ibn Khaldun, "As a theorist of history, he had no equal in any age or country until Vico appeared more than 300 years later. Plato, Aristotle, and Augustine were not his peers, and all others were unworthy of being even mentioned along with him." Yet historical sense was something that developed among the Muslim community very early on. Muslims strove diligently to preserve the sayings of the Prophet as reported by those closest to him and confirm the reliability of what was said and who reported it. Accurate transmission of the Prophet's legacy was recognized as a holy duty by Muslims. A method developed by scholars was the Isnad. According to Hadith scholar Jonathan A.C. Brown, the Isnad was an effort to document that a Hadith had actually come from Muhammad. Isnad meant that one couldn't claim the Prophet had said something without a reliable reference. This practice of Muslim scholars is now known in modern academic research as citation.